But we're still, we're going to Pesach. So, you know, I told you the story of last Pesach, what happened last Pesach, that I thought I'm going to be, from this Pesach, I'm going to be an angel.
Yeah.
That's it, finished. I'm going to be the best, you know. I'm going to change, I'm going to make tshuva, full tshuva, you know, I'm going to be Tzadik. And it happened until the end of the Seder. Until the end of the Seder, I was the best, I was happy and everything was good and I was wow. But the moment the Seder was finished and I finished more or less cleaning here and tidying up, I went to the Sadeh and then I felt like nothing, you know, like the worst. Anyway, Baruch Hashem. So, and I didn't remember why I was so high, what made me so excited, you know, and now I learned this Halacha, and this is the Halacha, the Halacha Zayin in Likutei Halachot. It's a very strong Halacha, and you have to press, what's his name, Maikov, I think, is the guy that translating. He didn't translate Likutei Halachot, yes. He did?
I don't think so.
No, he didn't. Translated Likutei Moharan and other books, but the Likutei Halachot, it's a big job. It's a really big work.
So your clock is still on the old time.
Yeah, but my watch is okay.
That's on who you believe.
To remember, you know, what's going on.
Yes, again.
Okay, so this is Torah, this little Torah, Kuf Lamed Zayin, in Chelek Aleph, in Likutei Moharan. It's a very small Torah, but I go with it many years with this Torah. It's one of the things that in my head all the time, like the Resh Pei Bet. And it says in Tehillim Kuf Yutet, חלקי השם אמרתי לשמור דבריך. My part in the word, I say to Hashem, is to keep your words. What does it mean to keep your words? To keep the mitzvahs of the Torah, whatever you told me. This is the simple understanding of this pasuk. Rabbi Nasson says, חלקי השם אמרתי לשמור דבריך. היינו שהחלק אלוקי ממעל שיש לי, חלקי השם. What does it mean חלקי השם? My part, Hashem, my part, God. Means the godly part I have in me tells me, אומר לי, ומלמד אותי, tells me and teaching me how to keep your words. חלקי השם, חלק אלוקי ממעל שיש בי, the godly part that I have in me is telling me and teaching me how to keep your will, whatever you want. So the meaning is, you know, coming out that we know everything we have to do in this world. We know everything without learning Torah, without meeting Tzadikim, without anything. We know everything.
Should be okay.
We know everything, we can do everything without any teaching from outside. Why? Because we have a part of Hashem in us. We are connected to Hashem all the time. And this can explain how people make tshuva. Someone that didn't know anything about Judaism suddenly made tshuva. Or how people convert from... How come? How did you get there? You know, if you were born in a religious family, Jewish religious family, okay, I understand. You know, this is the Torah you have to do. This is the way of it. Okay, but someone that doesn't know anything, how do you know? Because I have a part of Hashem that is in me. It says in Maaseh Bereshit, when God created man, He said, "Vayipach ba'apav ruach chaim," that after He created the man out of the mud of all the world, you know, he blew in him a spirit of life. So whoever blows out of himself. Means Hashem blows His spirit into the man, into the first man. So we all come out of the first man. So we all have a part of this spirit. So this is the main thing. Now, when you learn Torah, it's easier for you because you don't have to find everything by yourself. But Avraham Avinu, even before he learned Torah, before he came to the yeshiva of Shem Be'ever that got the Torah from Adam Arishon, he found slowly the will of Hashem, what Hashem wanted him to do. Okay. So we are connected to Hashem. This is the first introduction that we need for this halacha. This halacha says that when we were in the galus in Egypt, and we were slaves there, we were under the evil powers, the Yetzer Hara, the Klippes, and there was no way that we could go out of it. When Israel went out of Egypt, all the world heard about it. Why? Because they had such witchcraft that no slave never ran out of Egypt. Yeah, they had special dogs all around of Egypt. Yeah, that any slave that wanted to run out, they start barking and biting him. So no one could get out of Egypt. It wasn't dogs, like guard dogs, or it was with witchcraft. These dogs, nobody could go out of it. And it's not only that there were slaves because Egypt were stronger than Israel, because they had the power of the magic of the witchcraft. So in this place, and when they were there, they couldn't go anywhere close to Emunah, anywhere close to Hashem. They couldn't move out of there. And here, this halacha, he said that to get to Emunah, you have to get to the truth. And to get to the truth, you have to get to Torah, or to the advice of the Tzadikim, or the advice of the Torah, or the advice of the Tzadikim that they explain to you the Torah, that they translate the Torah. Like I take this halacha and I translate it. I don't say something from myself. I say what Rabbi Nathan say, but in a different language. Like he said it, maybe he said it in Yiddish, and he only wrote it in Lashon HaKodesh, in Hebrew. And someone in French, like Rabbi Nasson, he says it in French. It's translation. So the tzaddikim translate to us the advice of the Torah. But to get the advice of the Torah, you have to be pointed on the truth, and then you can get to Emunah, and then you can get to the point of knowing Hashem, have a knowledge in Hashem. What is knowing Hashem? Coming back to this small Torah, Chelki Hashem Amarti, to know the part of God that is in me and connecting with God. So if you cannot give me the advice of the Torah, and I cannot be pointed on the truth, I cannot get into Emunah. So when Moshe Rabbeinu comes to say, come on, let's go out, we're going out. Nobody's going out, because nobody will believe him. Nobody will have the Emunah, the belief to go out after Moshe Rabbeinu. So we spoke on the shiur. We spoke about mochim de gadlut, mochim de katnut. The big brains. So here it comes in a different form. Here he calls it or etzem haemet. Yeah. Sometimes Rabbi Nathan has phrases. That if you get the phrase, this is the phrase that when I read, this is the phrase. These three words: or etzem haemet. The light of the sense of the truth. I think this is the right word. The sense of the root of the truth. The light of the sense of the truth. I don't have any other choice. I'm sorry he went, because he was a judge, Eliezer was a judge, so when you come to the court, so you swear. What do you swear? I swear to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yeah? Why isn't it enough to say the truth? Because the truth was that I was driving in the car and I went home. This is the truth. But the whole truth is while I was driving, I ran over someone. I don't say the whole truth. So it's a lie. If you don't say the whole truth, it's a lie. And nothing but the truth, Yeah, nothing but the truth. You can say, I was driving, and then someone bumped in me in the back, and pushed me on this man, but this is more than the truth, the one someone bumped in you in the back. So I have to be, on the truth. And it's very, rare times that we get to be pointed on the truth. And this is the time when you make tshuva. This is the time when you feel connected to Hashem, because Hashem is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So this is the light that Hashem had to give us in Egypt, in order that we can hold the truth and get to the emunah and get the ideas from Moshe Rabbeinu to go out of Egypt. Let's go, and I can believe it. Now every time we're coming back to this point of experience, a religious experience, spiritual experience, meeting with Hashem. Like someone very important comes to your house. The chief rabbi of Israel, the chief rabbi of America, Rav Moshe Feinstein, Rabbi Ovadia, and sits in your living room. And you go and make him a coffee. Even when you go back, your eyes are in your back of the head to look at him. You feel his being here. He's here. Everything you do, you think, wow, this important man sits in my house. I run to bring him coffee. I bring him a cake, whatever I do all over the house. My head is with him all the time. And the same is with Hashem, to see Hashem is here. Hashem sits in my room, in this room, in the other room also. It's a little bit of a problem, that the other time he's there all the time. But at least sometimes I have to have this feeling that Hashem is here. He's really here. He's not. So this is what we learned in the Emunah. What is emunah? When Hashem gives us this light of the sense of the truth of the emes, to really feel it, so then I can believe that everything is happening. I'm going to get there, because in Megillat Esther, now we finished Purim. There was by accident, Esther was taken to the king's house. And by accident, Mordechai heard that they wanted to kill. And by accident, Mordechai told to Esther, and Esther told the king. Yeah? So she could say, he didn't tell her to say by his name. She could say but by accident, she said by his name. Then by accident, he couldn't sleep. And then by accident, he read the story. And everything was by accident. Okay, it was luck. It was accident, it happened like this. I went to a restaurant, I met some guy, and we spoke, and he said, wow, I have work for you. I have a job for you. After I was, advertising myself in the papers and everywhere, and no one take notice of it, and I met by accident. You can see it by accident, or you can see it. It's Hashem is there. It's a miracle. Wow, that's a miracle, You met a man, he gave you a job. What's a miracle about it? But it's a miracle. So it's your choice to explain what happened. Either way, you can say it's an accident, it's slack, or you can say it's a miracle. Whatever you want, whatever you wish. It's up to you to translate it. And then it goes higher or lower, because the people that don't believe, they say, the miracles of Mitzrayim, or they've never been. Yeah, it was long time ago, never been. Okay, they found the scientists find how do you call it, the Egypt papyrus. They found a letter that's saying about
papyrus. Papyrus.
Yeah, talking about the miracles of Mitzrayim. That one of the Egyptians wrote it. It's legends. The sea was open into two. Yam Suf was open into two. All the world heard about it. Yeah? No, it was an earthquake and everything is here in the 6 Days War. There was such miracles. The Ezra Weizmann was then the Air Force. The Air Force.
Air Force chief of the Air Force.
Yeah, chief of the Air Force, and he flew. He was a pilot, and he went with them. He said, "I see angels take the bombs and put it on the Egyptian airplanes." That's what he said, and he was recorded in the radio. Yeah, and then after the war, they had an interview with him. And said, listen to the recording. What do you say? Did you see angels? He said, no, it was in the fight, in the environment of the fight. I said this, He saw it, he saw it's a miracle. It's not logical. It wasn't logical for him, Each bomb went on the place. There was not a waste of one bomb. How can it happen? How can it be? It can't be. It must be a miracle. So he said it was a miracle, because he saw it was a miracle. But if I admit it's a miracle, it means I didn't make the war.
I saw a film clip recently. There was a IDF pilot who was flying an F-15 Eagle on a practice run, and they were shooting at these targets. And somehow he collided with the target aircraft. And he went into spin, and he went into a steep dive.
Wow.
They were going to have to eject. Told his navigator, get ready to eject. And he hit his afterburners, which is the last thing you do in that situation, to get more power. And the plane stopped rolling, and he was able to pull the plane up and control it.
Yeah.
And he had his wingman following him, and he couldn't see because his gasoline spraying on the canopy. Yeah. So he finally was coming in for landing, but he couldn't slow the plane down enough. So they have a tail hook like the planes on aircraft carriers have, and they have a wire at the end of the runway to catch the hook and slow the plane down. He was coming so fast he ripped the hook off, it ripped off, and he stopped 25 feet, so what is that, about 8 meters, from the barrier at the end of the runway.
Wow.
And he opens the canopy and he goes back to shake his navigator's hand, and he looks back and he only had one wing.
Wow.
Wing came off the plane. Got pictures. It's on what is it? 12 Tribes video there, and they show the plane in the air, and they show after he landed, one wing was missing. It's impossible to fly an airplane
with one wing.
With one wing, especially at that speed. And they had the people come in from Lockheed, whoever makes the F-15, and they said it's impossible. What's what happened when you landed? And they checked it out. And says, yeah, you were flying on one wing. Just unbelievable. So it's a nest from Hashem, because there's no way in the world that a plane is going to stay in the air, especially a high-performance aircraft, on just one wing, and he was able to control it and land it safely.
Wow.
So it's a fantastic video.
Yeah, but they don't say it's a miracle.
Well, the video says it's a miracle.
They say it's a miracle. Because if you say it's a miracle, it's not me. Mm-hmm. If it's not me, it's someone else.
Well, he wasn't claiming credit for it.
What?
He said he had no clue. I mean, he wasn't claiming that he was the great pilot.
It's not a matter of claiming. Mm-hmm. for the credit. You know, when in the matter of the Israeli war, for sure it's claiming the credit. You know, because then he wants to be a minister and a prime minister and so on. You know, that's how it goes in Israel. All the big shots in the army, they become the leaders of the government. But it's not that I claim the credit for myself. I don't give it to who it belongs to. Because when I give it to who it belongs to, I have to start searching out, you know, who is it? What does he want from me? How do I get closer to him?
Right.
What should I do? What should I do next? You know, and this is the choice of the truth. If you hit the truth and you accept it, that this is the truth, then you come to Emunah. And when you come to Emunah, you come to connect to Hashem, because now I have new eyes. You know the story of from the Baal Shem Tov, that there was a very rich man, and most of the time religious rich men, they take Talmid Chochem, yeah, and they help him, support him, and they will be a Talmid Chochem. But the Baal Shem Tov saw that the daughter of this rich man, her husband is a simple man, and he was sure that he wouldn't want to marry his daughter to this man. So the two brothers were already Hasidim of the Baal Shem Tov, and the father trusted them, and they went with the Baal Shem Tov to meet this man that was supposed to be this boy, Bachur, that was supposed to be the chosin of this rich man. So they went there, and the Baal Shem Tov took his hand and did like this on this man's face, and he started speaking Torah and speaking and telling, and these two brothers, you know, they got, wow, what a man, what a Talmid Chochem, yeah, this is the Chassan, yeah. They made their wedding. After the 7 days of the wedding, you know, they come to Ekipa. Oh, so now we can learn with him seriously. After now it was every day, you know, there's Sheva Bruches and this, and go here, and now we can start learning. What happened? He's asleep. 12 o'clock. He's still asleep. This is not a Talmid Chochem. Talmid Chochem, he gets up sometime, you know, not 12 o'clock. Okay, not 6 o'clock, not 3 o'clock, but 8 o'clock. Yeah, and sits there all day and learn, you know. Well, they say he doesn't know anything. No, they come back to the Baal Shem Tov. So he told him, you know, I gave him power to be a Talmid Chochem for these days that your father will agree to take him as a chassan. If he had the power, he could keep it, but he didn't have the power. But if you learn with him, he will be okay. He won't be a great Talmid Chochem, but he will be okay. Well, you know, the Tzadik can do like this to your eyes and open your eyes. How does he open your eyes? He gives you the power to see the world in a different way, to see the truth, to get connected to the Emunah. That's the power he gives you. This is what I understand, that every period in the Jewish life, we have this manhig that can open our eyes. The first manhig was Moshe Rabbeinu, that opened our eyes and gave us the Torah. You know, then the Torah got forgotten. You know, we forgot how to connect to the inside part of the Torah, and the inside part of the Torah is the inside part of me. And if I cannot go into my inside part, I'm not connected to Hashem, I'm not connected to the truth. So we got Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that wrote the Zohar. After Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, we lost it again, and we got Rabbeinu Ari. After Rabbeinu Ari, we got Baal Shem Tov. After Baal Shem Tov, we got Rabbi Nachman. So from every period, there was a machlokis. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, nobody wanted to accept him. And at his generation, they didn't make him the Rosh Yeshiva. Yeah? And when they chose Rabbi Meir to be the Rosh Yeshiva, yeah, Rabbi Shimon was disappointed. So Rabbi Akiva told him, his Rav, it was Rabbi Akiva, he told him, it's enough then that Hashem and me knows your power. That's enough. And only 800 years later, they found the Zohar. And they started learning the Zohar. At the time of Rabbeinu Ari, they didn't accept Rabbeinu Ari. There was the Ramak. Rabbeinu Ari was a young man. He was 30 years old. 36 years old. And Ramak was old, Mekubal, Tzadik, in Tzfat, and he come and makes a new way. You know, there was a big machlokes on him. After he died, everybody started learning his books, you know. He took how many times, maybe 50 years, until, because his Talmid, Marachu, Rabbi Chaim Vital, didn't let go of all his writing. And he asked to be buried with him. And they put all the books he wrote on his chest like this, and he closed his hands like this. And only later, you know, he said Rabbi Meir Papirash and another Talmid, I forgot, they opened the grave, they found him like he was alive, yeah, and they prayed and davened and asked him, please let us have these books. And he opened his hands and they took the books and then they wrote it down and Piso? Type them? Not type them. Print them, yeah, print them. And also with the Baal Shem Tov, there was a big machlokes. Yeah? Almost up to now, you know, someone came to the Stipler, the father of Chaim Kanievsky. So he sent him to one of the Rebbes. He had to have some medicine or something. He had a problem, medicine problem. So he sent him to. He says, "How can I go to a Rebbe? He's a Chosid. I am misnaged." So he asked him, "What are you misnaged of?" You know what it means, misnaged? You don't know even what does it mean. You know, it's so. I don't know what is the meaning of being misnaged. Go to him. You know, so he went to him. Anyway, and now Rabbi Nachman. But anyway, you know, if you say Rabbi Nachman, if you say other Hasidim Manigim, if you say the Litvic Manigim, the point is that all of Israel know that we must have a Manig. We have to get the Torah from someone that got the Torah. From someone that got the Torah before him and before him and before him. We have to have this kind of money in order to open our eyes. And this money has the power to open our eyes. You know, and this Sforim has the power to open our eyes. Rabbi Nachman has the power to open our eyes. To teach us, you know, how to get to the truth. To give us the right suggestion, how to get to the truth. How to understand life in the true way. You know, how to mefaresh, how to explain, how to
expose.
Huh?
Expose.
No, expose. When you explain something. Anyway, you know, something happened to me. How do I explain it to myself? You know, like it says in Torah Memchet. It says it's like a letter that Rabbi Nachman writes. He says when you come into the stage that you want to work Hashem, you want to be a servant of Hashem. Usually the way is that you get pushed away. You know, you feel nothing happens. You know, I pray and I daven and I speak and I go to the Tzadikim and I learn and nothing happens. You know. The guys that has their work, you know, they have parnasa, and me that I'm davening, I'm praying, and nothing happens, you know. I don't even get a normal job, you know. And I see my friends, you know, things, you know, that they give job, you know, they have money, they make an institute to take out books, you know. Why don't you call me? I'm your friend. You know I'm talented. You like me. You call me the Rav. Yeah? Why don't you call me to help you? In the meantime, you can give me some parnasa. Forget me. How come? How does it happen? Hashem doesn't love me, doesn't want me. What's going on? This is the questions that happens when you want to come closer to Hashem. Because first of all, listen, you want to come to be a millionaire, you know, the real millionaire, you know, the spiritual millionaire. That's what you want to be. I want to see that you're worth it. I want to check you. How do you get, you know, one over this face, one on this side, one on your head, one on your back, yeah? Can you hold it? Can you take it? You stay in your belief, you stay in your emunah, you stay with me, you still you still learn, you still daven, you're still going, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Oh no, if you get the prize, so you do it. If not, no. So this is the stage of the emunah of the kids, you know. You saw how they make tehillim, the kids. You know, the guy goes with a sweet like this. Goes with say, oh, he gives it. Ah, you do it. He gives them straight away. He gives them straight away. You know, if you want to be a little bit higher, so you have to understand. You know, there's the world to come. It takes time. It takes time. Sometimes it can take all your life, and you won't see anything. Only on the end of your life, you will see something, maybe. Only after 120, then only then you will see what will happen. And in this world, you have to choose. You suffer from your situation, or you are happy with your situation. Yeah? David HaMelech said, you know, I don't want any prize in this world. And not only I don't want any prize in this world, I don't want to leave my zchuyot. You know, I don't want the power. What do you say, zchut?
Merit.
Merit, yeah. I don't want to leave my merit to my kids. Let them handle with themselves. I want everything for the world to come. Yeah. I don't want anything in this world. And he was a king. He was rich, yeah, and he had a small room that he would go in with his flute and his bag when he was a shepherd, yeah, and he goes in to remind himself, I am nothing. I'm only a slave of Hashem. That's all. And that was the highest madriga that he got, you know. David, Eved Hashem. Like Moshe Rabbeinu. What is Moshe Rabbeinu? He's a king. He's the chief rabbi of all the Jews of all times. Yeah. What does it say? Eved Hashem. The slave of Hashem. That's the highest madriga that there is. So a slave, you cannot come and say, give me my salary. You're a slave. You don't have any salary. You don't get any salary. Slaves don't get salary. They work, they eat, they get something to dress with, and that's it. If you get more, okay, thank you very much, but it's not that I can ask for it. Or, no, for sure, I cannot demand it. Okay, so this is the way we got out of Egypt. How we got out of Egypt? By Hashem light on us the light of the sense of the truth, the sense, the inside of the truth, and only then we can come out of Egypt. And this is why we eat matzah. Why do we eat matzah? Yeah, because the matzah is like we said, it doesn't have the time to raise up. What is the idea of the dough raising up? It's the idea that you sit together and you find ideas like how to run your factory, how to run your life, how to have shlom bayit, how to raise kids. You know, sit there, people, and you discuss. What happens while you discussing things, not discussing, yeah, discussing. So he said something, and he said something, and he says something, and he says something. What happens in the middle? You know, I am the clever guy. All this bunch of people, yeah. And he says to himself, no, I am the clever guy. All this bunch of, and he says, no, I have the best idea. Yeah. So if you have the headmaster of the factory, he sits there, and he's a good man, you know, he's a strong man, so he can hear all the ideas and pick up something good. But if one of them is his relative, or his sister's husband, or something, so it's not objective all the time. So this is the idea of the dough raising up. All the ideas that we get together until we get to there. But in Egypt, we didn't have the choice to do it because we were there with the witchcraft and the magic of the Egyptians, and without any kedusha. So we eat the matzah. We eat the matzah. Have to know now we are getting the light of the sense of the truth straight, without working for it. And then we eat the marrow. Why we eat the marrow? That it's bitter. Or if you're Ashkenazi, you get the fire out of your ears. Yeah? Why do we eat it? To remind us, you know, that you got a present, but you're going to pay for it. Because when Pesach is over, it's over. You only have the memory of this light of the sense of the truth. It's only a memory. Now you have to work to make it yours. And this is the maror. The maror reminds you on the Seder, on the time that you have all this light, you know, like I told you, you know, wow, Hashem is here, I'm with Hashem, I'm the best, you know, I'm going to be the best. Eat the maror, my son. Remember, you're going to go down. Don't be disappointed. You're going to go down. I'm giving you this light that you will know where you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go and come closer to this light. But it will take you a long time. But don't worry, next year you have Pesach again. You have Pesach again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And until you get this light, and you can get hold of this light. And then you will get a higher light, and a higher, all the way. This is the maror. And then you eat the charoset. The charoset is already sweet. Yeah, why? It reminds us that after we got this light of the truth, you know, the inside feeling of the truth, and we remember that we're going to work for it, that this is the complete truth, because we are here in this world, and this is why we are higher than the angels, because the angels cannot work for what they have. They only get a present. But we are going to work. What for? For the charoset. What is the charoset? Chas, root. It is cut into two words. You heard it already? No. Chas is 68. Chet and Samach is 68. 68 is the number of Chaim, of life. Chet is 8, Yud is 10, another Yud is another 10, and Mem is 40, it's 68. Whose life? The life of Ruth. Ruth, no, Chas, Ruth, the life of Ruth. When do we read Megillat Ruth? On Shavuos. Then what's the connection between Ruth? Yeah? That she's a Gioret. Ruth gave us the Torah. Yeah, Ruth gave us David HaMelech, that made out of the Torah praise to Hashem. And this is the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu gave us the Torah, or the rules of the Torah. But we have to make the rules of the Torah a way to praise Hashem. Who did it? David HaMelech. He wrote 5 books of songs and praise and thanks to Hashem out of the Torah. You know, the most book that is found in the Gemara as a note to the Halacha is the Tehillim. If David HaMelech praised Hashem for something, meaning this is the Halacha, this is how you have to behave. Yeah. So now remember, okay, you got the present of the light, of the sense of the truth. Yeah, you got it into you. You felt it. You had a feeling of it. And then we gave you the mao that you remember you will have to work for it. And this is the real truth. This is why you are higher than the Malachim. And why? How do you do it? With the Torah. What kind of Torah? The Torah that make you praise Hashem. And that's why you have to look for the points of the Torah that you enjoy doing it. And do it again and again and again. Yeah. I have to do everything. I have to wash my hands before I eat. I have to make a bracha before I keep Shabbos. I keep kashrus. I do everything. But there are parts in the Torah that I like best. For example, Likutei. This is my best book. So be with this book. Yeah? Then you feel that I lost the feeling. Look for another book. Now you found the Zohar, you find the Gemara, you find the Halacha. Where you have a feeling, work there. Because from this point, you'll be able to spread this good feeling to all the other books, to all the other points of the Torah. But you have to find the point. Where is the point that is good for me? It makes me happy. This is the Torah I have to learn. This is what I have to do all the time. So this is the line of the Torah. You know, I'm getting a present from Hashem. This enlightenment of the light of the sense of the truth. With this light, I have to remember I have to work. I have to do work, and it's not an easy work, but it's an enjoyable work. Yeah? And then remember what kind of Torah I'm going to get with the Charoset. Yeah? The Torah that I can praise Hashem through this Torah. And then maybe, you know, if I manage to move it a little bit closer, you know, so you can get the idea, you know, to expect Pesach. I'm expecting.
Anticipate.
Anticipate. Yeah, anticipate. When is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? You know, I'm waiting for it. The more I'm waiting for him, the more I will get this light into me. You know, and I don't have to, you know, to sit on the Seder, you know, where's this light, you know. Just go with the Seder, you will get the light inside you. And this light comes from the same place, you know, when I say, Chelki Hashem amarti lishmor toratecha. My part, my godly part that I have in me, is teaching me how to keep your Torah. And this is David HaMelech. This is David HaMelech tells us, you know, you have a part of the God in you that teaches you and shows you how to keep the Torah. And now, in Pesach, you know, this is the time that the part that is in you and the part that is far, far above you can get together. And when they get together, it enlightens all your body. And which is this is the highest situation of a man, that his body, you know, this body, this flesh and blood, is enlightened with the light of God. And this is the time. The time is on Pesach. Why? Because where the enlightenment comes, it comes to your, not to your soul. The soul, spirit, you know, have a problem. Yeah, but soul. The soul is in the Jewish is cut into 5 parts. Nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. The nefesh is the lowest part, and the nefesh itself is cut again into this 5. So the nefesh of the nefesh, the lowest part, is resting in our blood, in our liver and in the blood. And then when we have at least the knowledge, the general knowledge that I have this part in me, and the connection is on the Leila Seder, on Pesach, I have connection with the highest madregas, and this comes into my blood, into my body, into every millimeter in my body. It comes in and enlightens me, you know. But be careful, you're going to fall. You're going to eat the maror straight after.
I was going to say that making Pesach is very hard, but I remember reading and learning that if you look at it and say it's hard, but there's a reason, as the Rabbi said, that you get happy about what you're doing. Pesach is coming. You get really excited. You're into Pesach. It's coming, and you finally sit down, even though everybody's tired and everybody's like, but it's Pesach. And so the Menahel by the yeshiva used to say that he couldn't understand why people would go away for Pesach. They would go to this hotel and that hotel and this and that, because then all the children, they don't understand. All they know is we're packing the bags to go away. We're going to go to the hotel. We're going to go to Switzerland and Greece and Italy, and they miss out on what Pesach really is. To go around and really clean, but not to clean the outside, but to clean the inside.
Again, we're coming again to the problem of the women's lib.
Yeah.
Why the women's lib? Because the woman really, she works very hard to bring Pesach in the house. So she can really feel, she can have the feeling of but if she is working, and see her husband, comes back, from work, open a big newspaper, putting his legs on the chair and smoking a cigar or a cigarette, So why work for? But if you learn what it's all about, and then she's working and you're working, and then you can get the light.
And your children work.
And the children for sure will get this light. There's a story, I'm not going to tell the story about two poor people, one Jewish guy and one German guy. And, they travel together, snorkeling, collecting money. There's a good joke. It reminds me of a joke. There was a Jewish guy and a non-Jewish guy collecting money together, next to a church. So everyone goes by the Jewish guy, full speed on him, and give the non-Jewish guy, give him a good tzedakah, good money, So one of the neighbors, he sees from the windows, he sees this happening. So he goes to the Jewish guy, he says to him, why are you standing here, You get all this yoiness, everybody is spitting on you, everybody is insulting you, why are you standing here? So the Jewish guy, goes like this, and he goes, and then the Jewish guy turns into the non-Jews, He comes to teach us how to work.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, this Jewish guy and this German guy, in the time they came to a city, in Pesach. So the Jewish guy says to him, listen, this day, now we're going to eat. Wow, real good. Okay, so they're waiting until the davening is over, and they got invited, the Jewish guy to one house and the German guy to the other house. Okay, so the German guys sit there, and they say Kiddush, and they say all these words that they say, and then, in the end they come, they eat the matzah. And after they eat the matzah, they eat the maror. And he says, wow, after an hour of all these ceremony, all these things you're doing around, you give me this thing to eat. I ran away to the hostel where they stayed there. In the middle of the night, the Jewish guy came, full, and drunk and happy, and everything is good. Says, no, how it was it? Look at these Jewish guys, they don't know what to do, they're saying and they're talking. The end they eat some like sticks, I don't know what was this bread and something that burned me, I run away. So he said, you idiot German, wait a little bit. Eat a little bit of something bitter, of something hard, and then you'll come to the Suda. And this is life, eat a little bit of something bad. Say what you have to say. Speak what you have to speak. Then you will come to the Suda. So it's the Torah. This is the Torah. You have to eat the bitter thing. But always there is this special light. No one could make tshuva if this special light of the truth, of the sense of the truth, what is the sense? I am here. The name of Hashem is Havaya. What is the Havaya? I am here. I am here all the time. So when you feel this, I am here all the time, so then, like you said, I have a reason for this work, for this bitter time, and I believe, and not only I believe, I know that the Suda will come.
I heard a story from the Chavetz Chaim, shiur that I was in, and said that Chavetz Chaim went on a trip, and a wagon man was taking him on the trip, and the wagon man went through an orchard, and he stopped by the orchard, and the wagon man stopped, and he said, I'm going to go get some apples and stuff like that, and then you watch and let me know if anyone's coming. So he jumps off the wagon and takes like one step, and the Chavetz Chaim calls him. He says, who's coming? He says, someone's watching.
Someone's watching.
I saw also that chumetz is risen. So what you see with the chumetz is not what you're really getting. It's all full of airs. It's like gaiva.
Yeah.
So on Pesach, we can't have the gaiva. The matzah, what you see is what you get. It's flat, it's plain. And it's symbolic, and I saw this, this is from Rav Hirsch, that on the night of Pesach, we were totally passive. The Egyptians also, they were driven. Hashem was the driving force, and he pushed the Egyptians to push us out of Mitzrayim after the Makat Bechorah. And we had no control of what was going on, and the Egyptians really had no control of what's going on. Yeah. So we have the matzah. It just shows us that everything that we have is not ours. It all comes from Hashem.
Yeah.
We were able to take care of ourselves, make our provisions.
Yeah. Shkach.